sincerely progressive. And I guess that's how all of us got duped. They really put on a really good show for us to say, hey, we really mean what we say. But then when the opportunity presented itself, they didn't.
Yeah. I kind of arrived last to the party, right? Gavin was a diehard listener. I became kind of aware of the Young Turks in 2020 when Bernie was running again. The first Bernie time around, I wasn't really on progressive YouTube that much. Didn't consume a lot of media like that. I was pretty young. But when I came to the party, it seemed like a mixed bag already at the Young Turks, and learning what I've been able to learn and gathering what I've been able to gather. We've had a lot of good conversations with our homie Hank Thompson, who worked there, had a lot of negative experiences, put together a great documentary we mentioned earlier about how Cenk, effectively underpaid people across the board, undermined their efforts to unionize, blamed it on outside efforts from external people, basically undermining the sovereignty of collective bargaining amongst his own employees at a progressive news network. Big red flags there. Yes. I think your supplemental experience of like, hey, this is a guy that will try and con you out of your own money. Obviously, you had the business acumen to be able to be like, I know how contracts work. I'm not going to allow myself to be exploited.
Yeah, exactly. But by the time I got to TYT, it was like, I had an attorney. I had done it enough. I had already been burned enough. And honestly, I think I worked with them. I think they really tried to get me on there for at least a year before I actually finally went on. And even when I went on, I didn't even sign the contract yet. I wanted to feel them out. And then this contract that I ended up signing wasn't even, it wasn't for a set amount of time. And so I just opted out of it after I saw, what was going on financially. It was actually better working for them contract free and just getting paid for like, here, this appearance versus then like the contract they wanted to put you in, which was, I think anyone who worked with TYT at the time would honestly say like the kind of ownership that they wanted in your channels. Like they really dug in and got a control of your channel, and you would have a hard time separating from them in the long run. I'm good.
I do want to get your opinion, though, Benjamin. We talk about the way Cenk and Anna are responding to fascism, essentially. And basically, they're responding by capitulating, by trying to make friends with the fascist and hope that, maybe if we become friends with these guys, we can influence them in the right direction. And then the positive results will trickle down for all you idiots down here in our audience, all you normal people that aren't rich, that aren't going to get invited to Mar-a-Lago, and that aren't going to get, paid $100,000 to do an ad read or whatever Tim Pool was talking about, right? So it's a total ruse. But let's hear it from you, Pastor Ben. What is the correct way to respond? What is the correct way to resist, at least as a political commentator or a truth teller, whatever you want to call people that are in this genre of YouTube or media? Yeah. What should we be doing? What's the correct tack to take?
To the correct response to fascism, you're saying?
Yep.
Come get me first. That's the response. Come get me first. Donald Trump, MAGA, Jack Posobiec, who thinks people are unhuman, InfoWars, War Room, all of them. I think the correct response is to be the verse volunteer. I volunteer as tribute. If you're going to come after somebody, come after me. If you're going to arrest somebody, arrest me. We have to put ourselves on the line. And this is not hubris. This is because I have children. I have two sons and a daughter. I'm most fearful for my daughter because we're growing up she would be growing up in a generation where they think women are property. No, if this thing falls, and if my children have to grow up in a post-apocalyptic fascist society, I want them to know that their dad died or is imprisoned to try to stop it from happening, not to fondle their. See, I've been a pastor for a while. I took some time off when I did politics for 10 years. And so I became really accustomed to doing a lot of cussing. I'm trying my best not to cuss.
You're at home here on the Vanguard. I'll tell you that much. And I really appreciate that response from you because it's sort of a feeling that I've had myself. A lot of people in our audience, they were very afraid after Donald Trump won re-election. Rightfully so. It's a very scary thing. And a lot of people were like, oh, do you guys think you'll leave the country? Do you guys think that you'll, record from Canada? Are you going to go to England? And I was like, my response was, no, dude, this is my country. All right. Andrew Polston came from England to America in 1749. My family has been here since before the revolution and will be here after the next revolution.
Come
We
on.
finally get our way as poor people. You know, they were peasants. They came over here to escape. You know what I'm saying? So I bought into the American iconography in the sense that, like, the Thomas Paines of the world, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think that the idea that we would just abandon that initial project, all of the progress that has been made, you know, across our, you know, sordid history, but a beautiful one. If you really get down to the people that were leading the movement, you know what I'm saying? Like it would just feel like such a betrayal of all of the work that had been done before us.
Over these Neanderthals, right? These anti-science, anti-vax, these low IQ Neanderthals who have conquered the United States of America, at least in 2024, right? Where it stands right now, we have lost to the Neanderthal class. And you expect us to lay down before them instead of challenging them? You cannot. Our only chance of stopping this is to be absolutely fearless. Period. And if there's anybody who's scared about their livelihood or their lives, they're not prepared for what's getting ready to come. They have already made it clear that they want retribution. They've already made it clear that they want to undermine democracy. They've made it clear that they don't want us to be able to vote them out of power ever again. So yeah, I'm with you. You know, I was in a little different position when my forefathers came here, but it's all good because that promise of a more perfect union eventually extended to black folks. And so I still, even though my history is different here, my ancestors' history is different, I still buy into the same thing that you did. I was properly indoctrinated as an American by the time I was in second grade. I still remember it to this day. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, to establish justice and secure domestic tranquility, to provide for the common defense, and to promote the general welfare, do ordain and establish this Constitution of the United States of America. You think I'm gonna lay that down for some moron like Donald Trump?
Anna reply with some stupid she's
I think
so
it was
gone.
Aaron, actually.
All right, so here's Anna Kasparian, and I'm interested in your take on TYT, Dusty. But Anna says, I mean, this is pretty much the same reaction leftists like him have when a working class woman is stabbed to death at a bus stop.
This is so pathetic.
By a
so ridiculous.
They want out roaming the streets.
Yeah, we're all really into people getting stabbed to death. What are you talking about? This is so desperate and transparent. She's just trying to come up with anything to pander to this right-wing cabal she's trying to attract.
If you want to throw that up,
Yeah,
Zach.
for sure.
As it says here, motive unknown in brazen targeted attack that killed United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson.
What could be the motive?
I know,
Such
right?
a mystery. United Healthcare that has double the average of declining people's healthcare. I mean, what could be the motive behind this? Obviously, it's probably somebody who had to watch their family member die brutally as they refused to treat them. They did everything right. They had insurance. They paid the premiums every month. And it doesn't matter. They can still deny you in this country because they don't give a shit about you. Everything's a dollar sign. This guy's making $10 million a year killing people. And so, yeah, I can't say that I'm happy about it.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I'm choking back to tears. I'm gonna let Galvin talk for a second. I was so emotionally wounded on behalf of this man who definitely did not have a karmic debt the size of Mount Everest. You know what I'm saying?
If I was an oligarch, I'd be nervous as shit right now.
Yep. Straight up, bro. I feel you. I would also be terrified if I was one of these CEOs of, you know, Blue Cross Blue Shield or one of these other conglomerates.
Elon Musk.
Yeah, I imagine they're all strengthening their private security teams as we speak, surrounding themselves with bodyguards. Yep. Well, I did want, on that note, you know, there's been some people that are incensed about the jokes and about the
Those people.
response.
They didn't give a shit about all the people who kill us not in their healthcare, did they?
Right.
Didn't shit on any of those people. They're gonna cry about a goddamn rich asshole, though, for sure.
But did you know, Dusty, that Brian Thompson was a human being with a family?
Yeah, and everybody who sent to death was also a human being with a family. So,
Right. Well, our friend of the show, Mike Figueredo of the Humanist Report, he responded his family too.
yep, I saw that. And Anna Anna, sorry. Anna replied with some stupid bullshit. She's so
I think it was
gone.
Karen, actually.
Karen.
All right, so here's Anna Kassarian, and I'm interested in your take on TYT, Dusty. But Anna says, I mean, this is pretty much the same reaction leftists like him have when a working class woman is stabbed to death at a bus stop
This is so pathetic.
by a
so
repeat
ridiculous.
offender they want out roaming the streets. Woo!
Yeah, we're
Okay.
all really into people getting stabbed to death. What you talking about? This is so desperate and transparent. She's just trying to come up with anything to pander to this right-wing cabal she's trying to attract. And I understand why. You look at Jink's Twitter page. Whenever he panders to MAGA, 80,000 likes. Whenever he says something just normal, 5,000. He sees that shit. He sees the engagement he's getting, and he's fucking chasing that shit. And it's insulting to anybody's intelligence for him to pretend like that's not what the fuck's happening, and her too.
Yep. I mean, look at this. This already has 20,000 likes. That's a lot more than
100% right-wingers too, I bet you can go to it and look at it. Click on their fucking profiles, they're all right-wingers.
It's also still, guys, I mean, let's be real. You're getting 20,000 favorites after 1.4 million people saw your tweet. That ratio is a little thin, even to the grovelers, even to the people who just are clapping seals, who just want to, like baby birds, have their food shoot up and spit down their mouth and be like, have affirmations of their value system be read back and regurgitated to them. They're still like, I'll mostly pass on this lady.
Yep.
I don't blame them. She probably started to them too.
Yep. And again, even if Anna wanted to disagree with Mike, or she wanted to pearl clutch about his joke or whatever, I wouldn't agree with that. I think Mike's joke was pretty funny. But still, you don't have to just straight up lie about the left and say that when an innocent working class woman is stabbed to death at a bus stop,
Oh my God.
that we celebrate and mock and laugh. Like, who are you talking about?
knows that's not true. I don't even know why she put that. Yeah, and smarter than this, because that's just real fucking stupid.
And as someone here in the comments said, it was actually the right wing who celebrated when Nancy Pelosi's husband got attacked, or when Gretchen. I don't even remember what happened with Gretchen.
She got kidnapped.
Did that actually happen?
There was a kidnapping conspiracy. Sorry, I don't know if she actually got kidnapped.
I remember people saying that was like fake or whatever.
It might have been fake, but I don't know.
I don't know. Either way, it's a good point that, yeah, it's not like, and by the way, when people did make jokes about Paul Pelosi, I wasn't out here like, how dare you, sir? That's a man with a family. Like, obviously not. But either way, Mike responded, and he says, find a single time where I had that reaction to a working class woman being stabbed. Just one. I'll wait. But out of curiosity, on a scale from Hassan is more popular than me to OMG, I was called a birthing person, how offended are you by my tweet? And it's such a great point, too, because a big part of Jake and Anna's pivot is pointing out how, the left, they're just all these identitarians, they're woke, they're snowflakes, but seemingly they're more triggered than ever, Jake and Anna, more triggered than ever by simple jokes, roasts, just like standard YouTube behavior from opposing channels and
That they
alternative
engaged in
viewpoints.
Constantly.
Yeah, exactly. That they engaged in constantly not that long ago. So what's your reaction, Dusty, not just to this story specifically, but also just the de-evolution of the Young Turks and what it says about the independent left-wing media space that we're both in?
Depressing. I think the left is dying even more than it was. If you go to like Facebook, every day, 9 out of the 10 most liked comments, posts are right wingers. They dominate, obviously, Twitter because Elon Musk owns it. They dominate YouTube. The right fucking dominates all of social media. And I have no doubt that Anna and Chunk see that shit. And they know there's no money on the left. They have billionaires funding them. Look at Tim Pool, gets $100,000 per video from Russia. Video gets seen 10,000 times. He should have made $5 from YouTube advertising. They gave him $100,000. Everyone, Tucker Carlson, they're all like this. They're all funded by billionaires. Hell, you got Elon Musk funding like libs of TikTok, giving her $20,000 a month just to shit on trans people. Yep. If you're a right winger, they back the dump truck up of money and just bury you in it. But if you're on the left, I mean, it's obvious like why it's harder to make it on the left. We're against rich, we're against billionaires. Rich people are not going to fund us, obviously. So they're just, it's a lot harder to make it. And I'm guessing they're struggling.
Yeah, what blows my mind, Dusty, is the fact that obviously they're struggling, right? We've talked a lot about how, going on big right-wing platforms to try and boost your profile doesn't actually translate into any money in your pocket. They're going to take care of your travel expenses. They're going to make sure that you get a nice dinner when you're down there. They're going to, oh, sure, yeah, here's a per diem and whatever, right? Like, you're a journalistic guest, so we can't pay you, but we'll just make it really nice for you when you come out. That's the deal when it comes to going on those right-wing podcasts. That's why people like Jank do it. He thinks he's boosting his profile, but in reality, none of the people who watch those shows are going to become paid subscribers of the Young Turks. And what is he doing with the little money that he has left? What's he doing with the limited resources that is still being provided to the Young Turks? He's paying people like Brianna Wu from his Rebellion pack or his Wolf pack. Yeah, we went over that.
Brianna Wu? Oh my God.
As recently as this summer, there were thousands and thousands of dollars being sent from Jake's pack to Brianna Wu.
I didn't know that shit.
She's still the executive director of Rebellion pack.
That's wild. Holy God.
And we don't have the public data yet to be able to say like, oh, she's still being paid. But I can tell you, as of the last dump of and it's mandated, right? If you're a head of a pack, you have to be transparent about who you're paying and when. So we will eventually know if she has even been cut off from payments. But I imagine she would remove her title if she had been, so we can forecast that he is still using your guys' money. If you are listening to this and you have ever contributed to the Young Turks, and if you are, by God, still contributing to the Young Turks, that's who they're using your money for, while they also try and lane switch and pivot to the right because they saw how successful it was and how little backlash people like Rave Dubin and Demi Jor received when they did it.
Well, that's tragic to hear. I didn't know that. She's become one of the most anti-trans pieces of trash on the internet. Yes, I know she's trans herself, but she's one of these Blair White tokens now that continually shits on other trans activists, trans rights, and not to mention she's an incredibly evil Zionist shill who spends all her time justifying the child murder and genocide of the Palestinian people. So fuck her in every way goddamn possible, and fuck Chunk for goddamn funding her.
Isn't it crazy?
Yeah, 100%. I hear what you're saying, Zach, about Jank squandering his capital. I do. I also, however, think there's a chance he 100% pulls this off. And as I mentioned when we were watching that Tim Pool conversation, Tim Pool starts talking about, oh, well, we get paid $50,000 all the time for an ad read. That's what Jank is after. He doesn't care about having an organic, audience-funded, independent show. No, he wants the big corporate sponsors.
He'd take the Russian money in a heartbeat. He took the Polymarket money, the Peter Thiel and Polymarket money. He admitted to it.
The more you go to the right, the more you get these sort of big corporate sponsors that are willing to give you insane, unholy amounts of money. And that's what Jank is after. The left does not get that treatment. The left is notoriously underfunded. Jank will be the first to tell you that, even as he takes his Polymarket money. He'll still pretend to be one of the beggars like us, right?
He's
but no, he wants the money.
He's going to pretend like he's criticizing the left from the left, just like fucking Jimmy Dore. And it's going to be incredibly transparent, just like this for Jimmy Dore. Yeah, obviously.
Yep. My question, though, Dusty, is do you think that Jank and Anna are talented enough commentators to pull it off? Do you think they will become successful right-wing commentators? Or do you
have to be talented?
Who they are?
Tim Pool is not talented. Tim Pool, he doesn't have a good voice. He's not handsome. He's not intelligent. He doesn't put out good content. It's not high quality. Nothing about it. He's just right-wing. And YouTube has picked him, which he's admitted before, to push him in the algorithm. And he's also pushed by all the other right-wing influencers who run all of social media. That's all it fucking takes. So as long as you're willing to shill for him, baby, you'll make it. Anybody will.
I think that's actually true, Gavin. I don't dispute that. I think that he couldn't crack it as an authentic media guy. I think he, what was it? What's the guy who flies too close to the sun, right? Whatever that parable. Who?
Was it Icarus?
Icarus, that's who it was. Sorry, I'm an idiot. I'm not very well read. But anyway, long story short, it's like an Icarus situation where he was at one point able to build up the Young Turks. If you just put Jank in a vacuum and you show him a couple of good bullet points, he can bulldog his way through it. But there's so little sincerity there. There's so little trust between him and his audience because he's betrayed it at every opportunity. And this is all before we unpack the fact that he's already done this maneuver before. Jank was a right winger. He was basically an incel, and he's apologized for that. And he's talked about how he grew. But really what he did was he just lane switched because it was more profitable to be a leftist for a while. Mm-hmm. And now he's drifting back, and he's going to be like, I was wrong to do all of those things that made me rich and relevant. And of course, he won't care that he doesn't have an audience left as long as he's getting coached by the money.
He's going to say he hasn't changed. He didn't leave the left left him. They all do the exact same grift. Since the very beginning, I've been doing this. Like back in the day, they're telling me Sargon of Akkad was on the left. Dusty, he's on the left. He's not a grifter. And then they told me Dave Rubin. And when I argued about that, and then they told me Joe Rogan was on the left. He wasn't going right-wing grifter. I've seen this grift over and over and over again. It feels like goddamn Groundhog Day, but it's incredibly effective. So I guess don't hate the players, hate the game.
Yeah, no, I totally agree, man. And that's why I'm just so shocked that people keep buying this crap. Like, I don't know, if someone who used to be a right-winger just in the most obvious way ever started pandering to me and telling me what I wanted to hear, but it was still very obvious what was happening and that they were somehow financially benefiting off of that and that they were only doing it because of that, I feel like I would have more, I feel like I would just be above that. I'd be like, I'm going to get my news from someone I trust. From
These are
someone who's being
conservatives. They're
honest.
not above this. It's a team sport to them. They don't actually give a shit. You can lie to them and they can know you're lying and they still won't care. As long as you're saying the things they want you to say and you're on their team, that's all they care about. It's a cult.
Right. Exactly. And that's what makes it so hard to fight the battle that we're fighting, Dusty, because it does oftentimes feel like we're just in a straight up post-truth society that you could tell people a million facts, you could disprove every thing they believe. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Words have no meaning anymore. It's incredibly frustrating. Makes you despondent, like you want to give up. Like, why am I even bothering? Nothing I'm doing is having an effect. But you can't be like that. You have to know that you're at least making a small effect, and any effect is better than no effect at all, you know? So you just got to keep pushing forward, even though it is depressing a lot of times.
Hey, this is John from Indiana.
John from Indiana, what's on
you exactly how the Hawks team is sort of lying by omission here.
Someone said spitter girl. Yeah, literally. That's a franchise now, bitch. This is a girl that literally got viral fame because she said, spit on that thing on a TikTok clip. And then I don't know what happened. Like, this is one of those things where it just happened completely outside of what? Oh, Hawk to a. We're gonna cover that. Don't worry. What time is it there? F***ing late, dude. It's late as hell up there. Do you miss my yet? Yes, a lot. I'm gonna see you tomorrow, my little lady. What a string of words you just said. Okay, well, let me read a string of words that is even worse. Sell that thing. Hawk to a girl faces allegations of crypto coin collapses hours after launch. It's done. It's over, dude. Yo, how do people still get involved in crypto coins, dude? How is that possible? How is that possible, man? Apparently, CoffeeZilla made a video on it, so I'm gonna take a look at it.
We're breaking down the Hawk to a scam, exactly how it happened, and we're going to confront the people behind it. Well, I did last time.
Dude, how the does CoffeeZilla get to interview all these people that he's investigating for? Like, is it because he gets like millions of views or something? Like, I don't understand. Are people just like that clout hungry? Are they just like, there's no repercussions for it, so you might as well you know, benefit from it? I genuinely don't get it. It doesn't make any sense. He literally will he will investigate somebody and then he'll just be able to talk to them too directly in the video. It's impressive.
Let me just say, it didn't go very well.
Happy to answer. I have questions. I have questions. I'm raising my hand. Hey, guys.
What CoffeeZilla?
Hey, this is one of the most miserable, horrible launches I've ever seen in my life.
Okay, then why the f are you on?
Profiting from the rug pull, I think it's relevant.
We didn't pull a rug. I don't know what you're trying to say. It's not true. That's defamation.
Doc, do the math. Do the math.
You're saying that we pulled a rug. There was no rug pulled. You're defaming our character.
I hate you, Welch. My $35,000 for the purchase of Hawk is now $2,000 after 10 minutes of buying. I'm a huge fan of Hawk Tua, but you took my life savings? No. It's gotta be fake, bro. It's gotta be fake. No one has ever said those words. No one has ever said, I'm a huge fan of Hawk Tua, but you took my life savings. Like, no. You want people to believe this. Yeah, no, it's fake. No, this one's not real. I purchased a coin Hawk you were so excited about with my life savings children's college education fund as well. No. It is definitely a rug pull though. They did that. And at this point, if you're like getting invested in an influencer coin, like you're an idiot, dude. I'm sorry. Like you kind of deserve it. Like you're not a 90-year-old that got conned into going into like old folks home, and now they're just like milking what remains of your assets and keeping you alive, but only barely for as long as they can. You know what I mean? Like that's not like those people are vulnerable. Like their brains are not working that well. You are supposed to be like, you know, a regular ass adult. Like you have no, like you should have a little bit. Yeah, I'm victim blaming, dude. This is like too stupid. It's like a child that you tell not to touch the pan because it's hot, and then he just fucking slaps it. You know what I mean? Sometimes you gotta touch the pan. And the worst part about it is these are usually children that have touched the pan over and over again, and they keep touching it. Not that one guy, but obviously people bought it. Like people still went and bought it enough to get rug pulled. You're like a kid that touched the pan, your hand burned, and then you touched it immediately again. Your hand burned again. And then you went to your friend's house and you were like, I'm gonna touch your pan too. I just like touching pans. At a certain point, I'm gonna be like, all right, put your face on that shit, okay? Kiss the pan, I guess. You know, I can't stop you, you dumb, you stupid ass fucking baby.
Are you not gonna let me talk? You just talk over me. Talk over me.
I'm hearing bullshit.
Yeah, these people were completely unhinged, unwilling to take any accountability, and we'll talk more to them in a second, but I want to break down the Hawk to escape. I think people are confused with this kind of stuff. I want to start with the big tweet that kind of set it all off. That would be this by Bubble Maps, which showed 96% of the supply was controlled by the team and was being sent out to a bunch of smaller wallets. The implication being that some of them might be dumping on you. Pretty quickly, the Hawk Tua girl came in to copy and paste what her team told her to say, which said team hasn't sold one token and not one key opinion leader was given one free token. We tried to stop snipers as best we could through high fees at the start of the launch. And so you see their awful tokenomics here, along with this response. The team hasn't sold one token, and then they post, obviously, a screenshot of a lot of sells from insiders who did not have to pay. You can see on the bot side, there's nothing. And on the sold side, they're making a lot of money. So how did you get free tokens? Well, you were an insider, right? And I just want to show you exactly how the Hawk Tua team is sort of lying by omission here.
So was it Dick Spitter girl? Yeah, literally. That's a franchise now, bitch. This is a girl that literally got viral fame because she said, Hawk Tua, spit on that thing on a TikTok clip. And then I don't know what happened. Like, this is one of those things where it just happened completely outside of, like, it happened in an entirely separate plane of existence to myself. I don't know. I talked about this before, but I was like, this is so outside of my field of interest. Like, I even, you know, might have been a little mean at the time where I was like, if you like that kind of stuff, like, I kind of think you're stupid, which is fine. Like, there's nothing wrong with it because, like, I'm a stupid guy myself, but, like, even as a stupid guy, I think you're a little bit stupider than me. You know what I mean? It's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. But, like, that's peak coworker humor shit. And I feel like if you're really invested in those memes, like, you know, you're a little stupid. You're a little dumb guy. It's fine. But whatever. What? He pulled the mask down because he was flirting? Wow, per John Miller saying, among the interviews law enforcement has been conducting, they spoke to a female employee at the hostel who said at one point she asked the then masked man to lower his mask while flirting with him. which is then why this photo was released to the NYP. He's so sick. That isn't the guy. He's clearly wearing a different coat. Chat, this is, you know, he has multiple codes. Like most people have multiple codes. Okay. I just know he doesn't. It's not him. I don't agree either. I don't agree that this is him. I don't. Also, Caitlin Collins follows me. What the f? Sick. I'm making inroads at CNN. Shooter could be a girl. Lol.
Literally almost had a heart attack because why do I look like the United Healthcare CEO shooter?
Yeah, I mean, could be anybody, really. Man, woman, anything, really. Honestly, I agree.
They say the team hasn't sold one token, and that's because they pre-sold the tokens, guys. They sold them to a bunch of investors with a pre-sale, and then those people were unlocked immediately upon launch. So you can see that with her tokenomics here. It says Haley's locked for 12 months, but you can see the strategic allocation is fully unlocked immediately on token generation event. Now, I spoke to some people who bought into this pre-sale. They say they got in at $16.69 million total valuation, which means that if they sold out the whole 17%, you're looking at about $2.8 million raised by pre-selling these tokens. So it is essentially a lie to say her team didn't sell tokens. Well, they pre-sold them, and then those investors dumped on your fans. That's the problem. Because Bubble Map says we found 285 investors join the Hawk pre-sale. That's about what I saw.
Dude, that's crazy. It's just like, it quite literally is just a scam. Like you're running, oh my God. They literally are running derivatives on how much they can get away with scamming. Like the value of this token, the evaluation of this token is like, how hard can we scam the fan base? And then they take it to other people and they're like, yeah, there you go. It's going to be $2.8 million worth at least. Is this not illegal? Bro, nothing is illegal.
So, well, 89 wallets sold 100% on launch. 47 sold over 50%. Anyway, you can see in total, $3.3 million were sold. Again, as you'll see, on mostly Haley Welsh's fans, or Hawk to a Girl's fans. And I know what you're thinking. Who falls for this? Well, unfortunately, with situations like this, they're not targeting crypto bros. They're mostly targeting like actual fans who've never been involved in space before. They don't know any better. And you're going to hear the guy behind a lot of this say that explicitly.
These are people that are outside of crypto that we're going to be onboarding, and they don't give a shit. They don't even know what a market cap is. They just go, oh, cool, free coin. Now I get to join a community. Cool, done.
Not only did they say it, they sold it in a pitch deck. You can see the Hawk deck here. Massive onboarding event. Hawk will onboard normies. So that's why I just don't buy this thought of, oh, well, you know, if you bought this, you deserve to get scammed. Okay, fine. But a lot of the people who bought it had never bought crypto before. They were targeting those people.
Yeah, I mean, they're still stupid, though, like, honestly, because just because you never bought crypto before doesn't change the reality that, like you've seen it. Please, are there still people at this point that haven't understood that this is always a fucking scam? Like, come on, man. It was called Hawk to a coin. Fuck. I think the real meta now is to just like farm dumb people over and over again. I guess the other version of that is called becoming a right-wing content creator. Because honestly, right-wing content creators show admiration and unconditional loyalty and love. Left-wing dumbasses, on the other hand, do the shit that I just showed you, the one from the Hassan account. Like, idiots on the right are like, oh, I don't care. I love Haktua. She'll never hurt me. If she did, she didn't mean to. Left-wing stupid people are like, every single person that I like is actually technically a cynical maniac, actually. Every single person that I'm ideologically aligned with is secretly invested in, promoting the rape of rich women or something. It's like, the fuck's wrong with you, stupid ass? Why the fuck do you think that? Use your fucking brain, dumbass. Use your brain. I don't know if you're aware of this, but a scammer won the presidential election. Yeah, that's true. That's why it's so much better to that's why It is so much better to just be a right winger, honestly. There are like 3 newsworthy scams a fucking year. No, there's a lot more of them. 3 of them at least make it into mainstream, though. Like 3 of them make it into mainstream. If you are on its face, if you're going out and buying a coin called Hawk2a coin, defended that dumb, cynically deployed rape clip on Tumblr against someone I see constantly yelling at people in the comments of post, Lamau, there's who falls for it. That's what I mean. Those are the fucking dummies of the left. Okay, baby leftists. Their heart is poison. Their heart is dark. It's filled with darkness, where they're so gullible and so susceptible to assuming impurities. You know what I mean? At least they're not falling for fucking crypto coins, though. If she wasn't already a curiosity, this wouldn't have nearly as much motion. Brother, it's called Hawk2a coin. I don't know what to tell people. Like, bro, this is so far beyond timeshares. You know what I mean? Like, it's like if a timeshare was called, like, you know, the shit paradise, okay? You'd be like, I don't know if I want to buy into the shit paradise timeshare, okay? It's kind of giving me a reason not to invest in this timeshare. It's called shit paradise. Kind of odd. You know what I mean? It's dick spittle, okay? Hawk2a coin. I'm going to spit on your penis coin. That's the coin that you're like, this is my big ticket to victory. This is it. I'm going to the moon with this one. Do you see what I mean? Like, we as a society have gotten so fucking stupid that you don't even have to market something anymore. You don't even have to act like it's not a fucking scam. You can just be like, it's a scam coin. And people will be like, oh, I love it. I'm gonna scam other people. That's what you mean, right? It's like, no, dumbass. You're the one being scammed. Oh. Yes, the gamble is to pull out during the pump. Most people think they're smart enough to fuck someone else over. Yeah, it's not gonna happen, though.
Said as much in our call. Now, the other part of this scam that I really need to break down because people don't understand it exactly is the fee scam, okay? When this launched, they had 15% fees on trading. They said that this was to stop snipers. But basically what this means, and because the team now blames snipers for a lot of this rug pull, but what it means is they benefited the entire way. You can see in 24 hours, they made almost $2 million from this fee. Meanwhile, on Dex Streamer, you can see the sniper, which is the #1 trader on this coin. They made about $1.3 million in their total profits and loss. So they actually made less in total profits, this sniper that ruined the project, than the team made on fees. I, of course, asked who benefited. Did Hawk2a Girl make the money? Who made the money in this whole thing? And they essentially dodged the question. Who's making millions of dollars on fees from this run?
That's not a scheme. That's fraud.
Who's making fees?
Keep this thing going for years, okay? That's, how do you think, there's so many excuses.
Kind of like Jay Schlatt a little bit. Nah, it's so we can keep Hawk2a coin for years, man. You don't understand. Hawk2a coin is gonna be used to buy groceries. You're gonna be fucking idiots. You're gonna be so stupid when you realize that people are buying their fucking regular daily items with the Hawk2a coin. Yeah, dog, I bought a car with that shit.
Who makes the money on the fees? Someone just made over $1 million on fees. Who made it?
First of all, the fees were there with meteorically, and that goes to, yes, the creator, right?
Which is who? Who does that own? Who does that belong to?
That belongs to the project.
Who's the project? Who is the project?
Well, the project is over here, Haley Welch, right? And
how much does Haley Welch own?
This is Haley Welch's project.
So she owns all
CoffeeZilla.
I'm just trying to figure out who owns it.
You know how much it costs for lawyer fees to create a foundation in the Cayman Islands, to hire directors? You think this stuff pays for itself? You know, this is how you run a project forever. Is you...
Well, this guy sounds like, I mean, he's not even trying to make it seem like he understands.
You have to fund that. And first of all, over here can speak to the extensive amount of work and time and people that are on this project. Over here has around 18 people working on this right now as we speak. This is not a small time type of nothing. We're really trying to do something here and not just do it for one day and do it for 2 days. Like,
So who made the money? You haven't answered the question. Who made the money? How much did Haley Welch make of that million, 1.8 million?
it's a foundation that is running this project.
How much does she own of it?
It's a foundation. She owns 0 of the foundation.
So y'all make the money?
No, I don't own the foundation either. A foundation.
Brother, who profited of over $1 million?
He's just like, we just put it somewhere. I don't know. I won't tell you. Yeah. We put it under the rug. You don't, we don't know. We have no access to the money. You know, it's whatever, dude. Shut up.
It's made
a foundation that pays people out. And by the way, Cockenzilla, I'm not asking you, questions that are irrelevant to the most important stuff that you said. Who cares what you do? It goes to bills.
You heard him right. Who cares where millions of dollars went? Supposedly, they have 18 people working on the Hawk to a meme token. So I don't know if that's true, but that's at least what they're claiming. Now, the last thing I need to say before we jump into this context that you need is that there are 4 groups to look out for here. 1, you have Hawk to a Girl, who is promoting this. 2, you have this guy, Doc Hollywood.
Oh my God, dude. What are these people? What are these people? Oh God, all the villains of society are so fucking lame now. Not a cool villain, not a single cool villain out there.
Like Howie Mandel's son-in-law or something like that. Like, he's this guy who has some connections in Hollywood, and he seems to be the guy connecting Hawk to a Girl with crypto, and he said he was teaching her a meme coin class, okay? And he goes unhinged on her call. 3, you have the guy running the crypto token, and 4, you have the insiders who paid money to get early access to this coin and then are rug pulling a lot of Haley Welch's fans. What you want to make of that, who you exactly want to assign blame to, is up to you. A lot of people are saying, oh, she didn't know any better. She's getting taken advantage of. Maybe, or maybe she's making a ton of money, talking about Hawk to a Girl. So with that said, I just want to show you the call last night. That is what I knew going into this call. And you'll see my questions target some of these different aspects of what I believe to be a scam in this call. And the last thing I have to say is that when they did do this call, they monologued for like 12 to 15 minutes before they let anyone up. So I was extremely frustrated by the time I got up. Hear a little bit of that in my voice. Not only that, this Doc Hollywood guy called people mentally ill. He said that people should be thanking him or kissing his butt, basically, for doing this for them, as if he's doing them a favor. Basically, generally berating the people who had maybe lost money in this. And so quite frustrating to go into. And, well, anyway, enjoy.
Everyone thinks that, oh, everything's a rug. Everything's a rug. Everyone's here to f you. Nah, we're here to onboard real people outside of this spaces, right? The people here, you guys are already, y'all are ahead every day thinking everything's a scam. And you know what? You guys are right. Everything is a scam, but not this. Not this. We did not.
This guy really believes in the Hawk to a coin. Why are you in the UK? Brother, look at my fucking title. Oxford Rat. Why am I in the UK? Because I escaped America, okay? Because I want to live in a country and experience the nationalized healthcare system before they completely collapse it. Okay, that's why. Or maybe because I came here because I was invited to speak at both the Cambridge Union and also the Oxford Union. Two very important halls. They onboarded these people, all right? Yeah, I guess they really did. They onboarded them to, I guess, understand how scammy this shit is, you know?
Not spend 6-7 months of our lives dedicated to trying to do something cool, right? To do something different, not dumping on you, not bundle snipe, not 100% of the liquidity or whatever was bundle sniped by the team, propped up cards. You guys are not the target audience. Sorry to say. Right? This is not the target audience.
Who's he talking to?
The target audience, which is why I'm even doing this, which is what was cool about it, is it's not in this space. And listen, most of you, we don't want you in the community. Let's be real, right? You're not great people. I don't know y'all, right? I see some friendly faces in this audience.
7-year-old though.
You know, you guys, I'm gonna say y'all, you guys, right? There's a lot of negativity in the space. I think crypto brings the mentally ill into this thing, right? If you guys are in crypto, you're most likely mentally ill. And I'm gonna count myself as mentally ill for even being here right now. We're trying to actually have fun. We're trying to just be cool. We're trying to give meme tokens away for free to people who have never had any crypto before, any meme token. And you guys should be kissing my ass because it's dope.
Yeah, so that's how all of this started. I had watched as people got wrecked on chain, and then I go here in the actual space that's supposed to address everything, a guy berating everyone, calling them mentally ill and telling them they should be thanking him. And that's what led to sort of my attitude when I went up on stage. Also, Twitter Spaces is horrible for doing this kind of work. I normally wouldn't choose it, but all these guys seem to love Twitter Spaces. I don't know why. The problem is people filibuster. So
because they're fucking stupid, CoffeeZilla. That's why. That's it. That's the other thing. These are exactly the profile of the type of people that fucking call like Twitter X. You know what I mean? Another thing where when I hear that, I also think less of you a little bit, just a little bit. Okay, just a little bit. Like, no disrespect if you do that because you're like, I don't know, a process nerd where you're like, I'm sorry, the name changed legally, it's X now or whatever. But like, it's just, you know, I don't even do the XDefiant meme because like I don't want to even come across like someone who's ironically calling it X. Ugh. But yeah, it's just like the profile of the dumbest people on the planet. Just like love crypto, listen to all the fucking Manosphere podcasts, calls Twitter X, Elon Dick Rider, loves meme coins.
I know I interrupted a lot. That's because you can't let these people go run off on like 10-hour explanations, which they will do if you let them. So, yeah, anyway, here's when I got up on the space.
Happy to answer any
I have
questions.
questions. I have questions. I'm raising my hand. Hey, guys.
What, CoffeeZilla?
Hey, this is one of the most miserable, horrible launches I've ever seen in my life.
Okay, then why the fuck are you on?
I've been tracing it on.
Get his ass, Haley Welch, Hawk to a girl. Get his ass, girl. You spit on his face. You spit on that thing, and now you spit on her face. I love Hawk to her. She got a funny accent.
Chain for a while. You guys generated over $1 million in fees.
I low-key feel about Hawk Tour the way fucking Michael feels about the Big Boom, Big Justice, and the Sun, AJ. M-Hud, you know how he has this like inappropriate anger and hatred for AJ and Big Justice? That's how I feel about Haley Welch. Like, and she ain't do nothing. I don't think she did anything wrong, except for this rug pull. But even then, like, I've just been a day one. It just makes me viscerally mad when I think about this person existing. Like, I know deep down inside, maybe it's a little too much, you know? Deep down inside, it's definitely a bit much that I feel this way. But like, I mean, it's Dick Spitter coin, man. I don't know what to tell you. Like, the fuck?
While y'all's fans got rug pulled, there was snipers, but there was also insider trading directly linked to y'all's creator account. What are you guys doing?
No. That's not true.
That is true. That's a fact.
It's not.
Well, it's a fact, and you can see it on chain. So.
Yeah, we know. We trust me. We were there. We could answer that.
You know about the insider trading?
No, there's no insider trading. That's why we can answer it.
Okay, so there's tokens going directly from the main account.
CoffeeZilla, just chill for a second.
And then it's getting sold for 50K. Who is that?
Definitely not us. You think we're doing this for 50K? Yeah, fucking right. Talking to the wrong guy. You're used to these bullshit scammers out here. Not us. Now, we had...
That's what everyone says, by the way.
Listen, doesn't matter. No, I'm not everyone. There was a strategic allocation, right, through a foundation. Every single one of those was signed to a SAFT. The deployer wallet. You've heard of a strategic allocation or
how much did y'all get doing a pre-sale? How much did y'all make?
It's not that we
Selling out
made.
your fans
Over here, can you
jump on your fans.
hold on, Coffeezilla, take a chill pill.
Yeah.
So,
Y'all just rug-pulled a bunch of people.
no, there's no rug. We're here every single day. There's no rug pull. Not talking about us. Yes, snipers sniped it up to me. Same mark.
No, it's not
Dunked
just
it.
snipers.
That was not us.
You know that.
Listen, no, I'm telling you the truth.
And y'all made millions on fees from this little scheme.
There's not a.
I'm sure that's not you getting those fees, right?
Not a
Who's making
scheme.
the money
It's
on
not
the
a-
fees?
it's
Who's
not a
making
scheme.
millions of dollars on fees from this rug pull?
That's not a scheme. That's the
Who's
the
making
project. So we
fees?
can keep this thing going for years. Okay. That's how do you think? There's so many expenses.
Who makes
right?
the money on the fees? Someone just made over $1 million on fees. Who made it?
First of all, the fees were there with Meteor fees, and that goes to yes, the creator, right?
Which is who? Who's that? Who's that belong to?
That belongs to the project. Right?
Who's the project? Who is the project?
Well, the project is over here, Haley Welch, right? And
How much
there's,
does Haley
and there's
Welch
a lo-
own?
This is Haley Welch's project.
So she owns all.
Coffeezilla.
Did she just make $1 million on fees on rug pull?
Do you know how much it costs for lawyer fees to create a foundation in the Cayman Islands, to hire directors? Do you think this stuff pays for itself? Right?
So y'all wanted to make money on day one? I don't understand. I'm just asking.
We're here every
Day
single time.
rug
Day 2, day 3. You know, this is how you run a project forever.
Day 4.
Is you have to fund that. First of all, over here can speak to the extensive amount of work and time and people that are on this project. Over here has around 18 people working on this right now as we speak. This is not a small time type of nothing. We're really trying to do something here and not just do it for one day and do it for 2 days.
So who made the money? You haven't answered the question. Who made the money? How much did Haley Welch make of that 1.8 million?
It's a foundation that is running this project.
How much does he own of it?
It's a foundation. He owns 0 of the foundation. No, I don't own the foundation either. A foundation.
Brother, who profited of over $1 million with this
I'm
thing?
telling you, a foundation that's getting people out. And by the way, Coffeezilla, I'm not asking you, questions that are irrelevant to the most important stuff that you said. Who cares where fees go? It goes to bills.
Well, when you're charging 15%, you're charging 50% rug pull, and you're profiting from the
There's
rug
no
pull.
rug pull because we didn't pull a rug. I don't know what you're trying to say. It's not true. That's defamation.
John, do the math. Do the math.
You're saying that we pulled the rug. There is no rug.
The Dixie Foundation. Do the math. It's going to the Dick Spittle Foundation. For all the little boys and girls that want to learn how to hawk to oh fuck. I didn't mean for it to come out like that. We're raising awareness. No, not like that. It's gonna be for years. They'll be of age by the time they learn. You don't understand it, Coffeezilla. Oh, it's so stupid, dude. Kind of a weird joke to make. I know. No jokes. I know. I'm portraying myself as the guy in this situation. I know that there are no joke lefties out there. Sneeko updates. Wait, what the fuck? When Sneeko ran into a TikToker DM before in Turkey, why is he getting Sneeko updates? What was he talking about?
You're defaming our character. I'm hearing bullshit.
No, you're not. You're talking over me. Let me just lay out your tokenomics. You guys released 3% to the Meteora pool, but you have 17% of the token allocation unlocked day 1 from your strategic allocation. Are you guys insane? What do you guys think exactly is going to happen when your insiders get sent their tokens? And by the way, who made the money from your 17% pre-sale while you're giving a tiny piece of the pie to the public? Like, what the hell? This is the worst tokenomics I've ever seen, and it is a scam.
It's not a scam.
The tokenomics are a scam. That's my opinion. You can say whatever you want about it. You can cry defamation. That's my opinion. It's a scam. And I only do this for a living. I've only seen 1 million of these projects.
So who pays you, Coffeezilla? Let's
Ooh, turn it around, turn it around, turn it around. Nobody's here for me. Everyone's here for you. Where did the fees go? Where did the money for the pre-sale tokens go? Why did y'all unlock day one so people could dump on Haley Welsh's fans? And how involved was she really?
No.
And how much money?
Don't say Haley Welsh fans. Say Hawk Tua fans. These people wanted to dump on. They wanted to dump Tua. Okay? They wanted to dump Tua on the Hawk Tua. Everything has to be some version of this meme.
Is she making from all this? What's her cut? I just got muted. So yeah, that was the conversation. Obviously, I got a little heated there towards the end because I don't know, there was something about this guy berating people who had lost money and insisting that what was so transparently true about the fees being made, about who's benefiting from the pre-sale, just dodging all of that. It gets me so bothered. I guess it shouldn't at this point. But, you know, what can I say? I'm only human. I will go ahead and highlight there were two other moments. FaZe Banks got up and called these guys out, which is funny.
This 100% was a mismanaged, mislaunched, like, this is what CoffeeZilla.
Wait, is that FaZe Banks? Yo. Wait, no. Is Blanks involved? No, not Brother Banks. Oh, no. Am I going to be phased up or phased down by the end of this? No, he's dumping on him, right? He's on the right side of this. He would not. He's like a real Hawk Tua guy. Like, he's probably a Hawk Tua fan. And he was like, oh, I'm ready to Hawk Tua. Like, I got my coins up. I got my phase up.
Zilla said I would label this a scam as well. It's pretty obvious. Like CoffeeZilla.
He's like, I would know.
Brought up 97% of the token was bundled into the same cluster, and in layman's terms that just basically means 97% of all the tokens owned were by related wallets, friends of friends of friends of friends. They were
No, that's not true. It's not true.
Yeah, yes, it is true.
False.
Yes, no, it's 100% true.
And then also Nick O'Neill, who is another crypto Twitter guy, he got up there and he asked them basically what I did because they wouldn't let me back up on the space. And he said, where's the money going to? And then Hawk Tua girl, decided it was time for bed, and that was the end of the space.
FaZe Banks hasn't been wrong. He predicted the election. True. Dude, you're right. You're not wrong. You're fucking right, dude. He did. He's so goated.
So I'm sort of curious, like,
I'm still fucking phased up. I'm so phased up, dude.
For the token price itself, but just in terms of the fact that there's fees that are being generated, there's an actual, like,
Hey
source
guys,
of income.
I hate to interrupt you, Nick. Hello there. But
What? That's crazy that she sounds like that.
anywho, I'm gonna go to bed, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Okay, I guess we're talking over here.
Can you imagine being asked questions about a scam, and in the middle of the questioning you go, oh, yeah, I think I'm gonna hit the bed, you know? Gotta wake up bright and early for tomorrow. That is just wild. These people are not serious, or at least it doesn't appear that they're taking it very seriously. I think it's concerning when you have a project.
I think she was in on it. That classic bedtime rug pull. She did a bedtime pull. She's in on it. I'll say it. She knew what she was doing.
Which, they can say whatever they want about their 18 employees and all the, hundreds of thousands they supposedly paid to set up these, like, Cayman Island corps to do it the right way. But at the end of the day, when you make millions of dollars on launch, where does that come from? When your insiders sell $3 million.
Oh, guys, a real honk Shua. Wait, she's 31? Wait, the Dick Spittle girl is 31? No. Wasn't she in, like, fucking college? There's no way. She's like, she's 22. Yeah, I could see her being like 22 max. Why are y'all lying, dude?
Where does that come from? Maybe the normies that you were targeting to get in? That is my problem. That is my issue, and that's why I came at them so hard. And that's basically it, I think.
Yeah, she's 22 years old. She is the 325th most popular person on famous birthdays. Okay, let's see. I'm going to do something that's going to hurt my feelings, I think. Hawktua clears me, dude. Ew, why am I associated with these fuckers? Well, at least I'm the #1 most famous Hassan and the 22nd most famous 33-year-old and the 18th most famous Twitch star. Who the fuck is born on July 25th and more famous? What the fuck is this? Who are these people? What are these lists, man? Okay, maybe this list is a little bit long. Why are you doing this to yourself? Not even Zeros, legit Gen Alpha. Crying. They don't know you, little bro. At least I cleared Matt.
Haley Welsh or Hawktua girl, to whatever extent she was involved, is still unclear, or was unclear until her transactional entertainment lawyer contacted me. I'm just editing this live, guys. He contacted me and said he wants to have a offline combo. I said I can't do that. This is a live story. If she wants to comment on the story or shed light on how much she's been paid, kindly respond. I'll put up all these screenshots. They say she was paid in advance from a company to handle the token marketing dev launch of $125,000. That's the only money she's seen to date. If you have any specific questions, you can answer. I said, what company was she paid by? What's the agreement? Did she see a cut of the pre-sale or fees from the liquidity pool? The best thing for my story is to get a copy of the agreement, of course. Christian replies, she was supposed to get 50% of net proceeds after payments of costs to third parties. Is that the 18 employees number they have? I don't know. I don't know what costs they have, but 50% is a lot. They were supposed to be mutually approved between her and the company. All decisions regarding to allocation were supposed to be mutually approved. Those decisions haven't been made at this point. The goal would be to salvage the token for the holders and her true fans and do right by the community. That's not going to happen. I can't provide the actual contract, as you can imagine, but I'm happy to continue to be responsive. Your spaces and comments have been helpful, blah, blah, blah. I appreciate what you... Okay, we all know. They always say that, by the way. This guy does not appreciate what I do, I don't think. You know, an entertainment lawyer appreciating somebody talking about somebody, I don't think that's true. Look, the big deal, what he said, is 50% net proceeds. That's a lot, actually. Now, again, 18 employees working on the Hawktua.
There's a lot of employees. It takes a lot to fucking scam people, dude. You can get $1 by the end of it. Okay? She got nothing left.
The coin, I don't know how much they're going to end up seeing at the end of the day, but it's going to be real money.
125K for spitting on people. It's so much more than just 125K. 125K for dick spittle rug pull coin. That's the
question about, like, oh, salvage the coin, want to salvage the coin. Guys, the problem is you sold millions of dollars of pre-sale tokens, and they're still out there. There's still people with these coins who are waiting to sell. So the second you go and salvage it for the fans, you're kind of dooming them again. So the best situation is just people, well, I don't really know. I don't like to give advice in situations like this. You know, it's like asking someone how to clean up a car crash. It's like, well, ideally this wouldn't have happened in the first place. So can't give too much advice there. The situation's horrible as it is. I appreciate them actually responding though, but she is actually making a lot of money off of this. And I do actually think that's a problem. So, I don't know. I think this whole situation is terrible, and she should feel bad. I hope she does, really, because she got in bed with some people who clearly saw a dollar sign. She saw a dollar sign, and they did this in people.
God, that fucking format, dude. I mean, I like noise, but god damn, I hate that fucking format. I'm on my hater arc, dude. I've decided that's what's going on right now. I'm hating on.
Dang, what's up, Matt? I don't know if you're still there.
Was it Joey here? I'm tired, man. I'm fucking tired. I did 5 hours.
It's early.
After a whole day.
Spacing
after
out.
the Oxford Union.
Keep missing. I don't think anyone's in the chat, so I'm not even looking at it. So I apologize. Spots 12 is fantastic.
Stream, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be really late if I do. So I'm most likely not going to be able to stream.
Where's the spots 12? I wasn't even using the spots.
If I do stream tomorrow, it's going to be a special one. Most likely a collab. I haven't been able to figure out exactly what I'm doing that with. But it'll be in the afternoon. It'll be late into the night, like around this time. If I do it streaming.
Keep the cash flowing. Jenk and Anna always sound like they're fresh off of a heated Twitter debate. Yeah. There was this video that I saw about like the video from Humanist Report talking about some of this stuff.
He may have issues with me personally. That's fine. I don't care at all.
I mean, have you pulled a Reuben, as some people suggest?
Like she's gone on, Anna Experience now gone on like 3 different shows to talk about how she's moving away from the left. And how the left is just not as nice to her anymore. And the right, some people on the right are just really nice. So, yeah, I'm like not, that's just how the cookie crumbles, right?
So I feel like it's come to a point where we now have a lot more clarity about the TYT situation, specifically their right-wing pivot. And I now know where this disconnect is specifically coming from between them and us. And I debated about whether or not to even talk about this again because I don't want people to think that I'm trying to rehash drama. But in my mind, this isn't just about drama any longer. To TYT, they view this as a competition to maintain hegemony in this space because James Weaver and Anna Kasparian presumably feel as if they've been usurped in some ways by the likes of Hassan Piker, as well as Sam Cedar and Emma Vigeland. And they kind of have. I mean, Majority Report is just a better, more principled version of TYT, and more people are coming to that same realization, and Cenk is taking notice. He's jealous, I think, that Majority Report is eating his lunch because he's always viewed TYT as the champion of the progressive left on YouTube, and he still wants ownership over this space, but he's starting to lose it, and he's mad about that. And he's especially mad that he's losing dominance to people in particular that he probably views as inferior. Now, I don't know what's in his mind, but this is the way it comes across to me. I mean, Majority Report, they used to be part of TYT's network. I was also part of TYT network. So in some ways, I think that Cenk feels like we owe him our success, even though we don't. We built platforms and then joined TYT network because we were popular. But regardless, you know, he thinks that we shouldn't challenge his political orthodoxy because we should be paying him fealty and thanking him because he feels responsible for our success. Or at a minimum, you know, he feels like we should be thankful that he created a model that we replicate today. He walked so we can run, in other words, but we're not giving him what he believes is owed to him. Now, to be clear, I don't view other people in this space as competition like Cenk views us as competition. I think that a win for David Dole is a win for me. When Lance of the Serfs gets 10,000 new subscribers, that's a win for me too, because we're not competitors in my mind. We're colleagues who are working towards the same goal. And a win for one of us is a win for all of us. Cenk, however, I don't think he views this space in that way. Maybe he did, but he certainly doesn't now. To him, this is a competition, and he wants TYT to come out on top. He wants to carry the mantle of the online left forever, and he wants to set the agenda and establish the parameters that the rest of us have to abide by. But I mean, I reject that mentality. Others in this space do too. And to him, he views this as a sort of rebellion against him. And in response, he's melted down repeatedly and tried to reassert himself as the true leader of this space while insisting that we should all bow down to him because his ego is bruised and he can't tolerate people calling him out for his dog shit takes. So I guess what I'm ultimately getting to is what's happening here is 3 things. We're seeing hubris, a politics of self-grievance, and mixed messaging from the network. And that's what's creating this disconnect between them and us. And over the course of this video, I'm going to demonstrate that case to you. So first and foremost, let's talk about the mixed messages, because that is the lowest common denominator that's driving all of this drama, if you want to call it that, because TYT, they brand themselves as home of progressives, yet repeatedly they undermine that branding with centrist and even right-wing counter messaging. And when people call it out and they say, hey, that's not very progressive, he'll respond by dismissing their criticism and reasserting himself as the true arbiter of truth on the left, but he never actually addresses the substance of our claims, and he refuses to reconcile the mixed messaging that we're all seeing. For example, when Anna Kasparian went on Jillian Michaels' show, the thumbnail
Matt, I haven't even touched the spaz. I'm throwing it on,
she's
baby.
leaving the left, and it even says, you know, why I left the left in a quote. Now, When
Can
she
you
went on
believe this
Piers
shit? They're
Morgan,
shutting
look
this.
at the way
They're,
that she
they're shutting this
introduced her
down,
as
and
well.
they're. I haven't even touched my shotguns, bro.
The left. Let's find out.
Haven't
She
even
joins me
touched
now.
them.
Hannah,
I got my
welcome to
assault
your
rifles
uncensored
done.
debut.
I'm grinding on my
Yeah, but to be
SMGs.
Anna can't control the thumbnails.
Everything
and the
else,
framing on
not
other
even
people's
close.
channels. But I mean, these shows
Holy
are playing
shit.
up that narrative for a reason. And while she's lead into it more
This is
than
tragic,
Jenk,
man.
he's continuing to deny it and feigns
So mad
outrage
about
whenever
this.
he's called out for it. But Jenk has at times leaned into it and he's played footsie with the right, but he still wants to maintain dominance over the leftist space when he's very clearly moving away from that. For example, he tweeted, "I've been trying to figure out why I'm more optimistic now than I was before the election, even though I was so against the guy that won. I know now, MAGA is not my mortal enemy, and neither is the extreme left. My mortal enemy is the establishment, and they have been defeated." Sure, because the electoral victory of a billionaire fascist who's stacking his cabinet full of neocons and other
Both of these
billionaires
maps are
is
fantastic.
certainly
I don't
evidence
care
that
what
the
anyone
establishment has
says
been
in the
defeated.
FPS space.
Cool.
Arena,
But I mean,
Clubhouse.
if we call that out
Clubhouse
and
was
say,
already
hey,
a
that's
good
pretty
map,
fucking
and
stupid,
the way that they
we're just
implemented it
trauma
into this
farming,
game,
or we're
genius.
too dumb to understand the 4D chess moves that he's making to trick the right
Solved.
into giving us the policies that we want. But I'm sorry, not a lot of lefties are going to endorse that weird, narcissistic, and self-serving strategy that he's pursuing currently. And if you're going to purport to represent the true left, as you say you do, people are going to object to these kinds of things if they feel like it reflects poorly on them. I'm not the one who's claiming that I represent the entire left. You are. So if you're going to claim to have a monopoly on truth and strategic wisdom in this space, people are going to push back on you when they say things that they feel is not representative of the left, when they feel like you're a bad example of what a leftist is or should be. I mean, even if, though, we were perfectly ideologically aligned, I'll admit, I still wouldn't want Jenk to represent the left because, quite frankly, he comes off as unhinged and unserious. I mean, he had a vanity presidential run to hawk his fucking book. That's embarrassing. And I think that other people better represent our collective values. But with that being said, nobody is trying to claim ownership of this space like Jenk does. Sam Cedar, I view as the true leader of the online left, but he's not saying he's the one true leftist. He allows disagreements and pushback. But I mean, if Sam Cedar were to push back and criticize Jenk, Jenk would take that as evidence. Not that, you know, he's putting forward this good faith criticism, but instead,
I mean, like, look at my fucking timeline, dude, where Mike from the Humanist Report quote tweets this post about reminder that Brian Thompson, the CEO of United Health, who was shot and killed, was a human being with a family. Fuck his family too. And then fucking Anna Kasparian. I mean, this is pretty much the same reaction leftists like him have when a working class woman is stabbed to death at a bus stop by a repeat offender that they want out roaming the streets.
as evidence that he's trying to replace Jenk as the new de facto leader of the space when it's really not that deep. If Sam Cedar criticizes Jenk, if I criticize Jenk, I'm just disagreeing. And I'm trying to get you to see my point of view because I think that you have a big platform and you can use it more effectively. But I mean, Jenk doesn't see it that way, and it's a problem. And throughout Jenk's stream with Hassan, which was incredibly long, you know, he tried to claim ownership again and again of this leftist space, but he doesn't realize that TYT has lost the credibility that they once had by repeatedly shifting to the right and shitting on the left and playing footsie with fascists. Case in point.
I watched your conversation with Matt Walsh today. I thought it was a good conversation. I haven't seen that film at all, but I mean, he touches on something that's very real.
I watched your conversations with Ben Shapiro, and you inspired me to have that conversation with Matt Walsh.
Yeah.
How dare you accuse us of shifting to the right? I mean, I'm only complimenting a self-proclaimed theocratic fascist for touching on a very real issue ignored by the left, but I'm not going right-wing, ooh. It's just so fucking disingenuous. And they think that we're stupid and naive and can't see what's happening. that we can't see what's already happened before multiple times on this same network. And just for shits and giggles, look at how she responded when Piers Morgan asked her if she's now doing what she criticized Dave Rubin of doing. And her answer, I think, was very illuminating.
What you said when Dave Rubin pivoted. Let's have a look.
There has been this prevalence of prominent figures who identify as the left, right, or on the left, who then later start to, you know, cozy up to right-wing figures, and then it turns out that they completely moved.
Same way, this is the same as the way political classes, like, I can reach across the aisle, can you? Why? Yeah, this is the same as, like, hey, everybody, here, look, Liz Cheney is endorsing me. Dick Cheney is endorsing me. It's like, why are you doing that?
To the right wing because they're essentially paid to do it. They're used as tools by the right wing to essentially spew right-wing talking points while purporting to still be on the left. In fact, Dave Rubin's a great example of that. Dave Rubin used to work with us. He identified as someone on the left.
So, I mean, have you pulled a Rubin, as some people suggest?
I mean, I'm still pretty left-wing, and I'm still working at the exact same place. Look, I don't know. Maybe I was wrong about Dave Rubin, but I just felt that he, first of all, after he left TYT, he did lie about us, and that bothered me because we were still friends, and I didn't understand what was going on.
And that, my friends, is where we get the politics of self-grievance. It's on full display because she's inadvertently admitting that she never really took issue with Dave Rubin's right-wing grift because what he was espousing was dangerous. The real problem to her was that she felt like her friend had betrayed her. And the more that she talks over a length of time, like going on different shows, the more it becomes abundantly clear that her pivot in part is fueled by personal grievance. There's a viral clip making the rounds on Twitter of her talking about how her entire opinion of Trump supporters changed because of this one Trump supporting neighbor that she talked to, Jeff. He was nice to her. And that's so weird. I find this worldview very bizarre because, I mean, I have family members who voted for Donald Trump. I've never been in a leftist or liberal echo chamber or bubble. You know, my MAGA family members, they're ostensibly nice if you talk to them, but just don't ask them about their views on immigrants or trans people because then they're not going to sound so nice. You know,
this is my favorite thing also, the criticism that's levied against people on the left, that we're all like in echo chambers. It's just so fucking horseshit. It's so obviously horseshit because almost every single leftist that I know of comes from a conservative household. I mean, myself included.
Anna can put aside those issues because she's not an immigrant or she's not trans. I mean, I know that her family is immigrants, but she herself is not at risk of deportation, so maybe she can put that aside. But for a lot of us, that disagreement is fundamental to who we are as human beings, so we can't put it aside. But in her mind, the left right now is being mean to her, while a right-winger and many right-wingers are being nice to her. Therefore, her worldview must have been flawed. And I'm obviously making an assumption that this is how she's operating, at least on a subconscious level, when I don't know for sure. But I mean, this politics of personal grievance is bad if it is what she's doing, because it is inevitably how you become a reactionary. Because rather than looking at the macro, you base your entire worldview on personal anecdotes, which is going to fail you. And this isn't unique to TYT or Anna Kasparian. They're not the first to do this. A lot of people have this view. It's why I always have been overly nice and apologetic to friends and family, to the point where I kind of became a doormat, because basically every single person in my real life who I know, I am the only gay person that they've ever known. So their interaction with me could shape their perception of all gay people. And that horrifies me, because I don't want to represent an entire group of people. I'm just one member of a very large community that is not a monolith. And I don't want someone's entire worldview to be colored by this one interaction that they have with me, where maybe I'm an asshole or I lose my temper, because I'm not perfect. And that responsibility that I felt I had, it ate away at me for most of my life, until I realized I can't live that way. You know, I can't base my own self-worth on other people's personal grievances, right? I'm one person, and if somebody starts to hate gay people because I was mean to them, or I forgot to say bless you after they sneezed or some shit, that's their problem. That's not my problem. But Cenk and Anna have presumably shifted away their focus to their own personal grievances and not on the actual policy and the data themselves. The left thinks that they're, too right-wing on crime. So what do? They become mad and they lean into that despite the left and prove them wrong because they can never admit that they're wrong. If the left says that they're not supportive enough of trans people, what do? Well, they get mad and they lean into that too until they're validated and they're invalidated. It's how they've been operating for the past year or so. It's an immature way to view the world, but I mean, it's presumably what's driving them. And I don't know, again, for sure what's in their hearts and in their minds, but they kind of admit a lot that personal grievances is what's driving their behavior. The right has been nice to them lately and the left has been mean to them. So they go on right.
Honestly, this might be my new favorite shotgun. It's not a one shot, one kill, but I like spammy guns.
That's what it looks like to me. So, I mean, it could be wrong, but that's what a lot of us are kind of seeing. And on the topic of personal grievances, when Anna made her birthing person tweet, she privately told me that she felt like she was being publicly bashed by people like myself and presumably others in this space who she considered friends. In other words, it wasn't what we said, it was where we said it. Even though we were respectful, the fact that we disagreed publicly with her, it felt like a betrayal. And in response, she felt compelled to double down, so that way her friends who she felt like betrayed.
As a leftist? Damn didn't realize the Shire was so conservative. Color me surprised DNM balls, DNM hobbits are hogs. Please tell Mayor Ked he cannot pay his tab in dead birds, we only accept mice.
Her wouldn't win, so she would be proven right. Now, she was asked about that birthing person tweet on Piers Morgan, and she did downplay the hatred she received. That's her word. It's an interesting choice of words to use when we were all very respectful if you go back and watch the videos that we did about this. But regardless, she goes on to comment about trans rights and ultimately sends another mixed message.
You also got blowback when you posted, "I'm a woman. Please don't ever refer to me as a person with a uterus or a person who menstruates." How do people not realize how degrading this is? You can support the transgender community without doing this shit. And I completely agree with you.
Yeah, I mean, I did not expect that tweet to go as viral as it did. I didn't expect the kind of hatred I got in response to it. But look, that's okay. It's fine, right? I'm a public figure, and whether I like it or not, I signed up for any type of, harassment, abuse, whatever that you get online as a result of stating your opinions. Look, the main point I want to make about the transgender community is that these are human beings, okay? They deserve to be treated with respect and dignity. And when it comes to any issue that has a real impact on their lives, housing, employment, all of that, there should be protection for this community, and we should respect the fact that they're human beings.
Now, if she just stopped talking right there, I think that maybe she actually learned from that whole birthing person kerfuffle, but she didn't stop. She kept talking and proved that we were all right to call her out because she was indeed going down a turf path, as many of us suspected, and we tried to intervene to stop that, but we've arrived at this point now.
At the same time, there are some issues that arise where the rights of one group, in this case, the transgender community, kind of conflicts with the rights of another group, the rights of women. And what I think is important is that we actually have a real dialogue, a civil dialogue, about how we move forward in a way where both parties feel that they're being treated fairly and with dignity.
So she's just A.K. Rowling at this point. We have officially arrived in turf territory where she is portraying trans rights as antithetical to women's rights in some areas. She's viewing this as a zero-sum game.
And it's just, the Anna stuff makes me so frustrated that when I try to start speaking, I get overwhelmed with frustration and then lose the ability to speak. And it's happened like 3 times so far in just this video alone, where I start and I'm like, okay, all right, just chillax. Chillax. What was that sneeze? Sorry, was that your sneeze? Yeah, I seen that. It's just so dumb. It was so dumb. If you honestly feel that going to a doctor's office or anyone at all saying like birthing person, maybe this is the gamer in me or something, I don't know. Like, dude, like go play some fucking video games, okay? Grow the fuck up. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? You're getting offended because someone called you birthing person? One, I don't even believe that this is happening. And I kind of don't believe that you actually are even getting offended by this, okay? It's so stupid. It's such a non-issue. No doctor has ever said birth. I hang out with some of the most productive doctors. This has never happened ever, okay? Second, if you're getting offended by that, I don't know how to explain that is a you problem. Like, it is not an offensive term. That would be getting offended because somebody said that you like mangoes and you like mangoes. Oh! How dare you say, I like fruit, thank you very much, not mangoes, all right? It's so stupid. It's just such a dumb thing to get hung up about. I also refuse to believe that if you called someone a birthing person, that you wouldn't be able to just tell them, you just call me a woman, actually. Actually, you can just call me a woman. It's fine. I disagree on the notion that it's degrading inherently. I think, if anything, referring to women in contexts where you would be talking about their capacity to give birth and referring to them not as birthing person can be degrading. It's just so dumb. It's just so stupid. Like, the entirety of it, like, all of it is just dumb. It's a technical term meant to be very specific. Yeah. Wasn't it from medical text or something? Yeah, but she argued that someone in her everyday life said it to her. This is almost as ridiculous as when, like, which Cuomo brother? It wasn't Chris Cuomo, it was the other one. He got really mad that someone called him Frito. He's like, anti-Italian racism is well and alive. Look, it's like... There's no way. Or like someone genuinely being offended by the term cracker. Like, and these are words that he's used in a derogatory fashion. The word that she's using is a descriptive term. It's not meant to have any positive or negative weight. It's supposed to be a neutral term. But it's on that level of fucking ridiculous. He said Frito was like the N-word for a time. So stupid. It's so stupid that my brain struggled to like even conceptualize actually being offended by something so dumb.
If trans women have rights and are welcomed into women's spaces as they should be, to her, that's a net loss for cis women. And she's not specific here, but if you watch her video that she did about Sarah McBride and Nancy Mace, she talks about how dehumanizing it was for Nancy Mace to try to police the bathroom usage of the one trans lawmaker. But in one part of the video towards the end, she drops a little turf comment about how, you know, it does get a little bit more tricky when we're talking about locker rooms.
Look, I want to be specific in noting that I do not have a problem at all with transgender people using the restrooms, the bathrooms that they identify with. The other single-sex facilities like locker rooms, I think, does get a little tricky.
She just drops that in there as she's trying to be an ally to trans people. She had to bring that up as if trans people are the predators who pose a threat to women when they are disproportionately vulnerable to sexual abuse themselves. But I mean, this, right?
And it's also like very obvious that she doesn't speak to anyone ever that's actually trans. Like, it's very, you can only have that opinion if you've never spoken to someone who's trans. Because the vast majority of trans people that I've spoken to have told me, and maybe my sample size is too small, and maybe I'm wrong, and this is not representative of the larger trans population, in which case I apologize if I'm wrong. But most of the trans people I've spoken to, I think basically all of them have said that they prefer changing in the bathrooms in the locker rooms. That if there are other people there, they don't even feel comfortable changing in the locker room. they want to go in the bathroom that's in the locker room to change. Like this idea that it's a little tricky when you want to put trans people in the locker room. It's so stupid, dude. It's just fucking dumb. It's just dumb.
Okay, I gotta get going. I don't know.
Ron or Rosie, I've ever heard of a female athlete actually having an issue with a trans athlete.